Hello everyone, it's Joe here, and welcome back to my F1 23 My Team career mode. First things first, we're at the Dutch Grand Prix. I had an incident early on where I lost my front wing, and I pitted again later to try and get fastest lap to take something from what was a painful race. We were nowhere near the points, or particularly near anyone anyway, and yeah, that happened. So right at the end we have an engine failure, marking what was a disaster and a waste of a race. So not much to tell from the Dutch Grand Prix. Russell won it with Leclerc second and Alonso third, Stroll fourth, Verstappen fifth, Albon up in sixth. A strong showing for him with Magnussen, Sainz, Perez and Bottas rounding out the top 10. Having lost my front wing early on, I potted round for about 25 laps, then pitted again to try and get fastest lap, just to take some positive, and then after I took fastest lap, the car let me down. But anyway, let's move forward from that. We're now at Monza for the Italian Grand Prix. Let's have a better race of things here than we did at the Dutch Grand Prix. I'm hoping for a race that's more like the Belgian Grand Prix, where we took P5. First things first though, it is qualifying, and I want to make sure that I get through Q1, hopefully Q2 too, so that we can make a cheeky little Q3 appearance here. That's what I'm hoping for as we head round the Parabolica. The lap has felt reasonably good. It hasn't felt absolutely brilliant, but you know what? It was good enough for P9 at the time. So I thought maybe it's best to err on the side of caution and do a second lap, which is what we did. And we were a couple of tenths up, and that was enough to move us from 9th to 8th, and in the end 13th. So we made it through Q1, and I was hoping that we could now make it through Q2, which we did, and now we're in Q3 in the top 10 shootout, and I'm going all out here. I'm really hoping we can at least stick it on the 4th row of the grid, maybe even the 3rd. I want to be near the front here at Monza, so that's what we're going for. As we head towards the end of the lap, the sun is starting to set here at Monza. It's quite late in the afternoon. Where are we going to finish? We hit the line, and it is P6 for the Italian Grand Prix. So not a bad qualifying session for us, with Russell taking pole and Perez completing the front row. Championship leader Fernando Alonso in P8, and it's a damp start.
But glory awaits too at the Italian Grand Prix. With the rain coming down here at the 3.6-mile Monza circuit, the low drag setups preferred by most teams could cause them some problems in today's Grand Prix. So watch out for cars struggling for grip around the Curva Michele Alboreto. That's the Parabolica to you and me, the last and most demanding of this track's 11 corners. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. George Russell will begin today's event in pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Sainz, Leclerc, Verstappen, Sparkles, Norris, Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Albon, Stroll, Gasly, Magnussen, De Vries, Sargent, Hulkenberg, Liam Lawson, Bottas, Tsunoda, Halga, Oscar Piastri, and Zhou Guanyu. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. Well, it's not going to be plain sailing for our drivers today, although with the sky falling as it is, perhaps sailing isn't too far from the truth. Anthony Davidson could be a wet one today. Great to have you with us. What are your thoughts?
It is 27 laps of the fastest circuit ahead of us then. What can we do? It is lights out and away we go, and a relatively okay-ish start for us. Norris not getting away any better, and I'm hoping in the second phase we can have a go at Max Verstappen. I'm going down the inside, I'm braking super late, we're going to miss our braking spot and head straight across. I did try not to hit anyone the moment I knew I was missing the corner, but I think we tagged Russell, so he's going to have front wing damage. And I have managed to rejoin in P7. And Alex Albon is right behind us now in the Haas. Is he going to have a look down the inside? No, Albon does not have a look. But wow, that was really bad from us. I'm glad that we were able to hold position reasonably. And Russell is now in the pits. And we're now having a look at Fernando Alonso in the Aston Martin. These guys are backing up because I think Verstappen and Sainz are having a little scrap for P3 here. And it is still quite wet in these opening stages. It is set to dry out maybe a bit later into this race, so I'm hoping we can hold on to these inters as long as possible. And we're trying to find ways past Alonso, but it's just not happening right now. Alonso holding his position quite well as we try and get all the closer. Alonso again, there's nowhere really to try and get through. And I'm not trying not to go into anyone because Verstappen is still scrapping away with a Ferrari. We've got a yellow flag. Virtual safety car deployed. Lance Stroll is out of the race. That might move to a full safety car, and here's why. Oh my goodness me, so the Alpine of Gasly, I think, spinning and collecting Lance Stroll, who then goes into the wall. Let's have a look then. Yep, Gasly getting it horribly wrong, collecting the Mercedes, and round he goes. I can't see how that worked. And that did eventually get upgraded to a full safety car. But now on the restart, we are having a look at Alonso as I miss the braking spot again. And I'm now, well, I've gone into Ocon a little bit there. He's now gone wide. Albon's retaking the place, moving up to 6th. Another strong showing for him in the Haas. But we lost a bit of momentum there. So, we're now into the top 5. Verstappen is 3rd. Alonso 4th. I'm just trying to find any way we can to get past the Aston Martin. It's going to be a bit of a brave one there, but no. Still no way past Fernando Alonso. And I feel like we can go after Sainz here. I feel like a podium is within our reach. But first we need to get past the Spaniard in the Aston Martin. Round the outside we go. Holding the inside line now for the chicane. Down the inside we dive. No way through there as I've missed my braking spot, and Alonso happily retaking the place. So we might need to work on our braking spot a little bit there, but I'm coming back at Alonso now. Down the main straight. Look at the slipstream we've got on him. For sure we're going to end up taking the place. Alonso covers. We're going to go to the outside. I'm going to have to pick my braking spot carefully. Go around the outside, switch to the inside. And finally, we are clear of the Aston Martin and heading towards Carlos Sainz and Max Verstappen, who are battling for second. We were robbed of a win here last season, as you'll remember, due to a red flag glitch, and unfortunately, it's not drying out just yet, meaning we need to take on another set of intermediates. But I'm hoping we'll have good pace on those, and we're still trying to catch a podium here. It's going to be quite difficult, and it's made all the more difficult with a sticky right front tyre, and that has really set us back even further now. That has actually happened quite a few times this season, so I'm feeling the frustration, but I'm going to try get myself back into this race, and well, nearly gone off the circuit in the first corner there. Frustration just getting the better of me. Time to get the head down and get back into the swing of this race. And we're going to start that by trying to take Yuki Tsunoda from P9. We're going to have a look up the inside of the Parabolica. Are we going to get it done? Yes. Are we going to get it stopped in time? No. And Tsunoda retakes the position, but he is promptly going to pit anyway, so nothing really lost there. As we now resume P5 after the pit stops, and I'm getting after Verstappen and Sainz. I still feel like we could potentially be on for a podium if I can catch these two, but I've got to get my head down and get on it. We lost a couple of seconds thanks to that pit stop, so now I want to try and make those back up if I can. it's still raining here. And as we head on to lap 15, Leclerc sets the fastest lap, which is promptly beaten by Verstappen, which is promptly beaten by us. Russell back in the pits. We move up into P4 now, and if I can catch him and regain that podium, I will happily do so. Meanwhile, that is Fernando Alonso dropping out of the race in the Aston Martin. So Alonso had a bad day on this one, and that moves Alex Albon into 6th, Lando Norris into 5th. But it looks like P4 is going to be our finishing position until our engine lets us down. Unbelievable. First it's our pit equipment and now the engine lets go. It's going to be a second retirement in a row. A duo of disappointing races. And the rain, which was meant to stop late on in the race, never stopped. But that's nothing at this stage now, as we are out of a second race in a row. I'm speechless.
That's a fantastic performance from Ferrari. It hardly looked in doubt. Tell me, Ant, how do they manage to achieve this win?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
Looking at the podium, you can see that red suit familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari, do it again.
He may not have won in Spa, but he wins in Monza. Charles Leclerc is your race winner here then, with Max Verstappen getting second, and Carlos Sainz making it 2 Ferraris on the podium. Norris gets 4th, Albon gets a best finish of the season at P5. Magnussen, Ocon, Russell, Gasly, despite being involved in that incident early on, moving into 9th, and Nick de Vries completes the top 10. But it is a day of 2 days of absolute disappointment for us. Monza more so, because we were looking at taking a very decent haul of points from this race, and it just wasn't meant to be. Alonso's championship lead, though, is now cut completely down, and George Russell is also in this fight too. And I don't think we should discount Carlos Sainz either. How is this one going to go? Who do you think is going to win Season 2? Let me know in the comments box below. Thank you so much for watching this installment of Career Mode. Don't forget to leave a like and hit the subscribe button if you're new here and you want to see more content from me. Until the next time, guys, I've been Joe, TTFN. Ta-ta for now. Take care.